What if I told you that the universe speaks in a language older than time itself? A language not of words, but of shapes, patterns so precise, so profound, that they echo in the very fabric of existence, from the microscopic to the cosmic, from the petals of a flower to the orbits of planets. There is a hidden code woven into the tapestry of reality. This is the language of sacred geometry, a divine blueprint that has guided mystics, philosophers, and scientists for millennia. But what does it mean? And why has this ancient knowledge been guarded, revered, and sometimes feared? Welcome, seekers of truth. Today, we embark on a journey into the heart of sacred geometry, a journey that will take us from the temples of ancient Egypt to the quantum realms of modern science. We'll uncover how these timeless patterns are not just abstract art, but keys to understanding the very nature of reality. Why do these shapes appear so consistently in nature? What secrets do they hold about the cosmos and about ourselves? And how can we harness this knowledge to unlock higher states of consciousness and transform our lives? By the end of this exploration, you'll see the world through new eyes. You'll begin to notice the hidden geometry in everything around you, and perhaps within you. But be warned, once you see it, you can't unsee it. This is the power of sacred geometry. It doesn't just reveal the secrets of the universe, it reveals the secrets of you. Are you ready to decode the mysteries of existence? Let's begin. Long before the rise of modern science, before the written word, even before the first cities were built, humanity was captivated by the patterns of the natural world. These patterns were not just observed, they were revered. They were seen as messages from the divine, a sacred language that connected the heavens and the earth. But where did this understanding begin? And why did ancient civilizations across the globe, separated by vast oceans and millennia, arrive at the same profound insights? Let's travel back in time, to the cradle of civilization. In ancient Egypt, sacred geometry was the foundation of their architecture, their art, and their spirituality. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for instance, is not just a tomb, it's a mathematical marvel. Its dimensions encode the value of pi, the golden ratio, and even the Earth's measurements. The Egyptians believed that these precise proportions aligned their structures with the cosmos, creating a bridge between the physical and the spiritual realms. Across the Mediterranean, the Greeks took this knowledge to new heights. Pythagoras, the father of mathematics, famously declared, "All is number." He believed that the universe was governed by geometric principles, and that understanding these principles was the key to unlocking the mysteries of existence. Plato, in his dialogue Timaeus, described the universe as being built from 5 perfect shapes, the Platonic Solids. These shapes, he claimed, were the building blocks of reality itself. But this wisdom was not confined to the West. In India, sacred geometry took the form of mandalas and yantras, intricate designs used for meditation and spiritual awakening. These patterns were believed to represent the cosmic order, the interplay of creation and destruction, and the unity of all things. Similarly, in China, the I Ching, the Book of Changes, used geometric symbols to map the flow of energy and the cycles of nature. Even in the farthest reaches of the world, from the Native American medicine wheels to the Aboriginal Dreamtime symbols, sacred geometry appears as a universal language. But why? Why did so many cultures, separated by time and space, arrive at the same conclusions? Some say it's because this knowledge was handed down by a lost civilization, a precursor to all human cultures. Others believe it was revealed through direct communion with the divine. Whatever the source, one thing is clear. Sacred geometry is not just a collection of pretty shapes. It's a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. It's a reminder that the universe is not chaotic, but ordered, and that this order is reflected in everything, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy. But what does this mean for us today? How can we, in our modern world, tap into this ancient wisdom? To answer that, we must first understand the core principles of sacred geometry, the shapes, the ratios, and the patterns that underpin reality itself. Imagine holding a pine cone in your hand. At first glance, it's just a simple object, a product of nature. But look closer. Do you see the spirals? Count them. You'll find that the number of spirals winding in one direction is different from the number winding in the opposite direction. And yet, these numbers are not random. They follow a precise sequence, the Fibonacci sequence. This is no accident. It's a glimpse into the hidden order of the universe. At the heart of sacred geometry are shapes and ratios that repeat endlessly in nature. The spiral, for instance, is one of the most fundamental patterns. It appears in seashells, galaxies, hurricanes, and even the way plants grow. But why? Because the spiral is the most efficient way for energy to move and expand. It's nature's way of balancing growth and stability. The Fibonacci sequence, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and so on, is a mathematical expression of this spiral. Each number is the sum of the two preceding ones, creating a pattern of exponential growth. But here's the fascinating part. When you divide each number by the one before it, the result gets closer and closer to a specific value, 1, 6, 18. This is the golden ratio, often represented by the Greek letter phi-f. The golden ratio is often called the divine proportion because of its prevalence in both nature and art. It's found in the proportions of the human body, the branching of trees, the arrangement of leaves, and even the structure of DNA. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci and architects like Le Corbusier used the golden ratio to create works of breathtaking beauty and harmony. But why does this ratio feel so pleasing to us? Is it because we're hardwired to recognize it as a reflection of the natural world? Beyond the golden ratio, there are the Platonic Solids, 5 three-dimensional shapes that are the building blocks of reality. Each of these shapes has faces that are identical, regular polygons, and they fit perfectly inside a sphere. The ancient Greeks believed these shapes represented the elements: earth, cube; air, octahedron; fire, tetrahedron; water, icosahedron; and the cosmos, dodecahedron. But their significance goes deeper. These shapes are the foundation of crystal structures, molecular bonds, and even the way energy flows through space. Take this quartz crystal, for example. Its hexagonal structure is a manifestation of sacred geometry. It's not just a pretty rock. It's a physical expression of the universe's underlying order. And this order isn't limited to crystals. It's in the honeycombs of bees, the scales of a pineapple, and the symmetry of a snowflake. But here's the question. Why does sacred geometry appear so consistently in nature? Is it simply a result of physical laws, or is there something more profound at work? Some believe that these patterns are evidence of a universal intelligence, a conscious force that shapes reality according to geometric principles. Others see them as a bridge between the physical and the spiritual, a way for us to connect with the deeper mysteries of existence. In the next part of our journey, we'll dive even deeper into the hidden meanings of sacred geometry. We'll explore how these shapes and ratios are not just reflections of the physical world, but also gateways to higher dimensions of consciousness. Are you ready to unlock the secrets of the cosmos? We've explored the shapes and ratios that form the foundation of sacred geometry. The spirals, the golden ratio, the Platonic solids. But these are more than just patterns in nature. They are portals to understanding the deeper, hidden dimensions of reality. What if I told you that sacred geometry is not just a reflection of the physical world, but a map to the unseen realms that lie beyond it? Let's start with the dodecahedron. Of the 5 Platonic solids, this one has always been the most mysterious. Plato associated it with the cosmos, calling it the shape of the universe. But why? Modern science offers a clue. In the field of quantum physics, researchers have discovered that the fundamental structure of space-time may be composed of tiny, geometric units, like a cosmic dodecahedral lattice. Could this be what Plato intuited thousands of years ago? Then there's the flower of life, a pattern found in ancient temples, manuscripts, and artifacts across the globe. This intricate design, composed of evenly spaced, overlapping circles, is said to contain the blueprint of creation. Within it, you can find every Platonic solid, the golden ratio, and even the structure of DNA. But the flower of life is more than a geometric curiosity. It's a symbol of unity, representing the interconnectedness of all things. At the heart of the flower of life is the seed of life, a pattern of 7 circles. This symbol is believed to represent the 7 days of creation, the 7 chakras, and the 7 stages of consciousness. It's a reminder that everything in the universe begins with a single point of energy, expanding outward in perfect harmony. From the flower of life, we can derive another powerful symbol, Metatron's cube. This intricate figure contains all 5 Platonic solids and is said to hold the keys to understanding the fabric of reality. In esoteric traditions, Metatron is an archangel associated with the divine blueprint of creation. His cube is a symbol of balance, order, and the infinite potential of the universe. But sacred geometry isn't just about shapes and symbols. It's about vibration, frequency, and energy. Crystals, for example, are physical manifestations of geometric principles. Their precise atomic structures allow them to store, amplify, and transmit energy. This is why they've been used for centuries in healing, meditation, and spiritual practices. They are tools for aligning ourselves with the geometric harmony of the universe. Another key concept in sacred geometry is the torus, a shape that resembles a donut. This is the fundamental energy pattern of the universe. Everything from atoms to planets to galaxies exhibits a toroidal energy flow. Even the human energy field, or aura, is shaped like a torus. This shape represents the dynamic balance of energy, constantly flowing in and out, creating a self-sustaining system. So what does all of this mean for us? It means that sacred geometry is not just an abstract concept. It's a living, breathing reality that shapes our world and our consciousness. By understanding these patterns, we can tap into the deeper currents of existence. We can align ourselves with the natural flow of energy, unlock higher states of awareness, and even manifest our deepest desires. But how do we apply this knowledge in our daily lives? How can we use sacred geometry to transform our reality? In the next part of our journey, we'll explore practical techniques and rituals that will help you harness the power of these ancient patterns. Are you ready to step into the flow of creation? Now that we've explored the profound depths of sacred geometry, it's time to bring this ancient wisdom into our daily lives. Sacred geometry isn't just a theory to be studied. It's a practice to be lived. By working with these patterns, we can align ourselves with the natural flow of the universe, awaken our inner potential, and create a life of harmony and purpose. Let's dive into some practical ways to harness the power of sacred geometry. One of the simplest and most powerful ways to work with sacred geometry is through meditation. Geometric shapes like the flower of life, Metatron's cube, or the Sri Yantra can serve as focal points for your practice. Here's how to begin. 1. Choose a symbol. Select a geometric pattern that resonates with you. It could be a physical object, like a pendant or a piece of art, or an image you've printed out. 2. Set your intention. Before you begin, take a moment to set an intention. What do you want to cultivate in your life? Balance? Clarity? Creativity? 3. Focus and breathe. Sit comfortably and gaze at the symbol. Let your eyes trace its lines and curves. As you breathe deeply, imagine the energy of the shape flowing into you, aligning your mind, body, and spirit. Meditating with sacred geometry can help you access higher states of consciousness, activate your chakras, and connect with the universal source of creation. It's a practice that has been used for thousands of years by mystics and seekers alike. Another powerful tool is the crystal grid. Crystals are natural amplifiers of energy, and when arranged in a geometric pattern, their power is magnified. Here's how to create your own crystal grid. 1. Choose your crystals. Select crystals that align with your intention. For example, amethyst for spiritual growth, rose quartz for love, or citrine for abundance. 2. Select a sacred geometry pattern. Use a flower of life, seed of life, or Metatron's cube cloth as the base for your grid. 3. Arrange the crystals. Place the crystals on the points of the geometric pattern, starting from the center and working outward. As you place each crystal, visualize your intention being infused into the grid. 4. Activate the grid. Use a wand or your finger to trace the lines of the pattern, connecting the crystals and activating the energy flow. Crystal grids can be used for healing, manifestation, protection, or any other purpose. They are a tangible way to work with the energy of sacred geometry and bring your intentions to life. Another practice is walking a labyrinth. Unlike a maze, a labyrinth has a single, winding path that leads to the center and back out again. This ancient tool is a physical representation of the journey inward, a meditation in motion. As you walk the labyrinth, focus on your breath and let go of any distractions. When you reach the center, pause and connect with your inner self. Then, as you walk back out, carry that sense of clarity and peace with you. Labyrinths have been used for centuries as tools for spiritual growth and self-discovery. They remind us that life is not a straight path, but a spiral journey of expansion and return. Finally, consider incorporating sacred geometry into your creative practices. Draw mandalas, paint geometric patterns, or even design your own symbols. The act of creating sacred geometry can be a deeply meditative and transformative experience. It allows you to connect with the universal patterns on a personal level and express your unique energy. Remember, sacred geometry is not just about understanding the universe. It's about becoming a co-creator with it. By working with these patterns, you align yourself with the natural flow of energy and open yourself to infinite possibilities. These practices are just the beginning. As you explore sacred geometry, you'll discover your own unique ways of connecting with its power. Trust your intuition, follow your curiosity, and let the patterns guide you. In the final part of our journey, we'll reflect on what we've learned and explore how sacred geometry can transform not just our individual lives, but the world around us. Are you ready to step into your role as a conscious creator? As we come to the end of our journey into the hidden truth of sacred geometry, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discovered. We've explored the ancient roots of this timeless wisdom, from the pyramids of Egypt to the temples of India. We've decoded the language of shapes and ratios, uncovering the golden ratio, the Platonic Solids, and the flower of life. And we've learned practical ways to harness this knowledge through meditation, crystal grids, labyrinths, and creative expression. But sacred geometry is more than just a collection of patterns or practices. It's a reminder that we are part of something greater, a vast, interconnected web of energy and consciousness. It shows us that the universe is not random or chaotic, but ordered and intentional. And it invites us to align ourselves with this order, to become co-creators of our reality. When we begin to see the world through the lens of sacred geometry, everything changes. The mundane becomes magical. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. A flower is no longer just a flower. It's a masterpiece of divine design. A starry sky is no longer just a collection of lights. It's a cosmic symphony of shapes and ratios. And we are no longer just observers of this beauty. We are participants in it. Sacred geometry teaches us that we are not separate from the universe. We are the universe. The same patterns that shape the stars and the seas are within us, encoded in our DNA, our cells, our energy fields. By connecting with these patterns, we reconnect with our true nature, our infinite potential, our divine essence. So, what does this mean for you? It means that you have the power to transform your life. By working with sacred geometry, you can align yourself with the natural flow of energy, release blockages, and manifest your deepest desires. You can awaken to higher states of consciousness, tap into your creativity, and find harmony in all areas of your life. But the power of sacred geometry doesn't stop with you. As you awaken to this wisdom, you become a beacon of light for others. Your energy, your actions, your presence ripple out into the world, creating waves of transformation. Imagine what would happen if more and more people began to live in alignment with these universal principles. Imagine the world we could create, a world of balance, harmony, and unity. So I leave you with this question. What will you create with the knowledge of sacred geometry? How will you use this ancient wisdom to shape your life and the world around you? The patterns are there, waiting for you to step into the flow. The choice is yours. If this exploration has inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments. What aspect of sacred geometry resonated with you the most? How will you incorporate it into your life? Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, remember, the universe is speaking to you. Are you listening?